In this video, we're going to be talking about keyword density. And I'm going to be showing you a real blog post here that I wrote that needs to be fixed, at least from an SEO perspective. So this is an article that I wrote called Does Matcha Stain Teeth? And I followed one of my templates, the What Is template. And basically I wrote the answer to the question, does matcha stain teeth? Now, one of the ways that Google can understand what we're writing about is based on keywords that appear in the article. So if Google were to look at this article, they would try to see what words appear frequently, what words appear near the top of the article, which means it's probably more important, which words appear in the H2s, this is an H2 heading, which words appear bolded, which words appear as descriptions for images. So all of these things help Google understand what your article is about. And a lot of the SEO techniques that we're going to be going over in this module are about showing Google what we're talking about, what our article is about. So that way, hopefully, we show up for that keyword. In this video, we're covering the first element of that, which is called keyword density. Luckily for us, I've already published this blog post, and it is, again, missing some SEO techniques that we need to go in and fix. So one of the things that I'm going to show you is a tool here that you're not going to have, although you could get it, fair enough. But basically, it's called SEO Quake. And what this tool is going to do is when I click density here, is it's going to search my article and find the most common words by percentage. So the word matcha, out of the 1,288 times, words, appears 49 times. So that has a density of 3.8%. To make this really simple, if you had an article with 1,000 words and you had a word appear 1% of the time, that would be 10 words. 10 times that keyword appears, right? So it makes sense, right? So Google is looking at our blog post sort of like this. This is kind of how Google sees it. It's just seeing this mass of words, and it doesn't really know what these words means, but it will look for patterns, and it will look for other websites online that have similar patterns to the patterns that we have. So this tool lets us see some of those patterns. Are the medical backed facts, that appears 4 times, that phrase of words. Matcha stain teeth, that appears 5 times. When it comes to groupings of 3 words, that appears more than any other 3 words. 2 words that appear most common are your teeth. So Google sees that this article has something to do with matcha and your teeth, right? These are words and phrases that appear often. Now, when it comes to writing blog posts, you want your keyword to appear in the blog post more than once. If you put it up too many times, Google is going to see that you're intentionally flooding your blog post with your keyword, and Google is going to punish you. They're really going to punish you. They might not show your article. They might not show your entire website if they think that you do this often. So that's why we don't want to cheat Google. But we do want our keyword to appear enough. So what is enough? How often is enough? Well, in my experience, you want your keyword to appear anywhere from 1.5 to 2.5% of the time, 1 to 2 to 3% density, somewhere around there. So if your article is 3,000 words long, you would want your keyword to appear 20 to 30 times, somewhere in that range. So if we look at our article here, does matcha stain teeth? That is the keyword. And if I look at the keyword density, does matcha stain teeth? That appears at 0.93%. So I would want that to be higher. So that means when I go into my article here, I want to make sure that I write the phrase, does matcha stain teeth, a little bit more frequently. I might put it in 2 or 3 more times, just anywhere in the text itself. You could also, by the way, put the keyword in one of your H2s. or in a file name. And in fact, in this article, you can see that I put the file name does not just stain teeth for this image and the alt text. And we're going to get to image SEO later. I think that's like video, I don't know, it's in a few videos from now. We'll get into that. But the point is to have keyword density. Now I'll show you on Zerby. We'll take a random article on Zerby. Okay, cheesy pickup lines. So let's look up cheesiest pickup lines. So that appears 3 times in this article. And if we do SEO Quake, just to see what the density of it is, cheesiest pickup line could appear more too. So we can see that these articles have room for improvement. They're a little too low. It's at 0.8. I would prefer that to be at 1.5% density. So this is how I like to write my blog post. I like to write the blog post without thinking about SEO and then go back and say, okay, my article is this many words long, 1,000, and I want my keyword to appear 1.5 times, which means I need my keyword to be in this article 15 times, anywhere. In the text, in a headline, in an image description, etc. It's okay, by the way, if you have 1% keyword density, 2%, 3%, anywhere in there is fine. The important part is you don't want to start putting it in so often that it feels like you're forcing it in. It shouldn't feel weird reading your article. There are some articles where the keyword is kind of weird, so you don't really want to force it in. Now that said, this is keyword density. 1.5% is a good number to aim for. There are some tricks though, and that is using synonyms and using something called LSI, which is what we're going to get into in the next video. So I will see you there.